Assalamu alaikum, dear students and respective viewers. As you know, we are reading history and our chapter, that is the Great Mughals, in which we have talked about the different Mughal kings, about their general life, about their administration, as well as their administrative aspects. Not only this, we also talked how the different kings came into power, like as Akbar, Shah Jahan, Jahangir, all these people, how they came into power and what were the different problems, revolts they have faced during their rule. In our previous lecture, we talked about Shah Jahan and Jahangir, how these two ruled over subcontinent, that is India, and how day by day they were vastening their empire. They were keeping friendship from the time of Akbar with the other people, with the other kings, local kings, or they were local, their kingdom was local in nature, and with this they increased their empire. Now the next king who is in front of us on our book, that is Aurangzeb, who is also called locally Alamgir. Today we have to talk about him, as well as we will also talk about the administrative aspect of Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb has ruled India from 1658 to 1707. That is 1658 to 1707. This period is nearly 50 years. For 50 years, he has ruled India, and this period is same to Akbar, Jalaluddin Akbar, and this is considered as the last ruler of Mughal Empire. But when we are talking as the last ruler of Mughal Empire, there have been other rulers also after him. But with this man, after the death of this man, after the passage of this man, the Mughal Empire starts falling. With the passage of time, Mughal Empire starts falling. Otherwise, we have Bahadur Shah. But this man has ruled India for a long period of time, that is for 50 years, and during his rule, the whole empire was good enough, that was too strong to rule India very well. But this Aurangzeb faced many revolts, many struggles, and chaos and confusion in his empire that led for the other people that Mughal Empire starts falling with the passage of time. That is why this man is considered as the last ruler of Mughal Empire. Now, as I told you in the introduction, Mughal Empire was very vast in its size, because from Akbar, then Jahangir, then Shah Jahan, in their empire, in their rule, the whole kingdom remained in stability, in peace. So, by friendship and by peace, they enlarged their area. So, this area, this empire, day by day, it increased. They increased their area, their kingdom. That is why when this man Aurangzeb came into power, it was very vast, large. You can understand through this way that in north, from Kashmir to Jinja in south, and from Hindu Kush, this is a place probably in Gujarat, in west to Chittagong in east. So from these points, from these places, we can understand that this empire was very vast when it came under the kingdom of Aurangzeb. But this man also faced a lot of revolts during his time, and whenever we are talking about the revolts or the struggles, there have been some reasons. When we are talking about the revolts of which Aurangzeb faced or which took place during his time, that is in north, he increased his tax from 1/3 to 1/2 of the production. That means people used to pay 1/3, 1/3. But now during the Aurangzeb's period, it was increased to 1/2. Right? Not only this, he also faced the revolts from the Rajputs. Otherwise, these Rajputs were the friends of the Mughal Empire. These were the friends during the period of his ancestors. And because of this, he lost a lot of money from his treasury. Not only this, among the great struggles, or the toughest and the longest struggles he ever faced, was from the Shivaji, who was a ruler in Maharashtra, nowadays Maharashtra, because in our book it is very clearly written that Deccan area, that is the South South India, and there he got various troubles, and all his efforts failed because they were very strong. But he changed, this man, Aurangzeb, changed his policy from peace to struggle. Otherwise, this Deccan area was in peace. What was his aim? He wanted to crush them, to bring them under his rule. But these people, Shivaji and his subjects, were very strong, and they struggled against Aurangzeb many times, and Aurangzeb lost various struggles. Not only this, he lost a lot of money and his treasury became empty. Very easy to understand. Now, we have to generally an analysis about the Aurangzeb. Now we will make an analysis about the Aurangzeb. If somebody will ask you, my dear students, regarding Aurangzeb, what type of ruler he was, what kind of rule he did, now you have to answer simply. As a human, as a Muslim, he was orthodox, but he was good. He is remembered, even though in these days, in our Islamic history, he is also called as Alamgir, and he was God-fearing. He did not believe in any kind of pomp and show as his ancestors did. That means जो उसके वो दादा परदादा दिखावे का काम करते थे, this man was not in that favor. Right? Are you getting my point? That means he was living a simple life. Not only this, he was called a the Zinda Peer, or the living saint. From this point, it becomes clear for us that he was not only a king in his subjects, but he was considered as a peer, a saint. That means he was very great or good human being. But he was also a good king, a justice rule. That means a justice rule. But it is one aspect of his life. This is one aspect of his life. When we are talking about the another aspect of his life, That is, when we are reading him as a king, as a politician, as a Badshah, whether he was successful, whether he got success or not. We will talk also about that. As a ruler, Aurangzeb lacked far-sightedness. That means वो दूर अंदेशी का मालिक नहीं था. Why? Why we call him that he was lacking far-sightedness? His various policies proved to be failure. What are those policies? Those policies proved to be failure which he had with the other kings, other kingdoms. For example, he was aware, as I told you, he got a long struggle, toughest struggle from the Marathas. He was aware that Marathas were very strong. Still, what he did, he, instead of choosing the path of friendship, instead of choosing the path of peace, what the other path he chose, that is struggle. And that, I told you, became a reason for his empty treasury. Not only this, as his ancestors were keeping or they were in good relationship with the Rajputs, but this man, as he started annexation and conquering them, they started their revolts. Not only this, when he increased the tax, that also proved to be a failed policy of Aurangzeb. That means when we are talking about Aurangzeb, we are talking about two aspects. One, as a ruler, what kind of man he was. But as well as when we are talking about his rule, then we also understand it, his various policies proven to be failure. As I told you that we have to talk about the Aurangzeb as well as the administrative aspects of Mughal Empire. When we are talking about the Mughal Empire, aspects of Mughal administration, then first of all we have to discuss about the Mughal court. When we are talking about the Mughal court, it was ceremonial and it was held in two parts. It was held in two parts. When we are talking about the two parts, one is private part as well and second is public part. Private audiences and public audiences. And not only this, certain ceremonies were performed which are also written on our book. What are those ceremonies? Like as Kurnish, Taslim, Sajda, Payabos were performed to pay respect to the Badshah in the court. The king was the highest authority of the court. He used to be on the high place, high throne. Not only this, places were assigned to the other officials also. Nobles or head of the departments used to read out their daily reports in the court to the Badshah. What does it mean? Whatever they were doing in the day, they used to read it before the Badshah. That means they were giving an information, what they have done, what they are doing, why, if they are taking their salary, whether their salary is justified or not. This shows the transparency of the system. Moving forward, then we have two, as I told you, it was held in two parts. Basically, these were Muslims, and the name of the two parts is also in the Urdu, that is Diwani Khas and Diwani Aam. When the emperor king used to listen to the grievances of general public in a separate hall, that was called as Diwani Aam. But when he used or discussed the different issues, but they were of the important in nature, and these were with the king and with his officials, that is with Diwani Khas, that is private audiences and public audiences. This was their court. We have to also talk about their administration. Their administration was divided into two parts: central administration as well as provincial administration, or we will call it as state administration. And when we are talking about the administration, then it have the both Central Asian administrative aspects as well as it had both traditional Indian traditional administrative aspects. When we are talking, for example, in your 6th class, you may have read about the Vedic period, and you may have also talked about the Ashoka. You may have also read about the Mauryans. Then you may have also come to know that their administration was divided. Same is the case here. When we are talking it is divided, that is provincial administration, decentralized, then it is traditional in nature. But when we are talking it is central administration, it is Central Asian administrative system, right? That means simply Mughal administration had both the aspects of Asian as well as Indian traditional aspects, which I explained. Administration was held at two levels, also clear: central administration, provincial administration, central administration or state administration, central administration. Now, king was at the top. He was assisted by other officers like as vizier, who was called prime minister. That means he was assisted by the different officers, and head of the officers was one man. He is called as prime minister. There have been different departments also, like as revenue department, he was called as Diwan. Mir Bakshi looked after the military department. The Kazi means the head of the court, chief justice, and Sadur kept records of all the donations and grants made under royal seal. And Khani Sanam, he was the head of the royal housekeeping department. We will also talk about them and all these departments in our next lecture, that is on Saturday, inshallah. But hope you will also read it from the book. Thank you for today.